What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 with our Italian campaign. We are obviously doing incredibly well, a lot of victories all across the board. I'm very surprised that we were able to maintain a foothold inside the US, and now we have about 72 units of tanks. Now, obviously, we are lacking a little bit of heavies. Surprisingly enough, now we have a surplus. Thought we were lacking. But the idea is we are going to switch over to modern tanks. And actually one day, and we are going to start beginning our jet engines. Once delay is unlocked, we will then begin working on even more improvements. So now we have the P45. Let's start working on better engineering companies. And that is what we are going to do. I absolutely need to take more and more supplies inside the area. And one thing I think I'm going to do is actually aggressively execute battle plans. A delay has been unlocked. Like I said in the last episode, we switched over to mobile warfare, and the idea is we're going to have a lot of tanks rather than a lot of infantry. So I would rather improve our tanks rather than the infantry themselves. Everybody's pushing, everybody's doing a phenomenal job. Let's begin pumping out even more. Let's actually produce the modern tanks now. This is going to push up. So one of our biggest issues is we have a lot of experience and we've never used it. So let's finally improve the modern tank. All we want is full armor and then full reliability as much as we can get. So, and then I guess one into the main gun. And now we have 100% reliability. So this is what we want. 5 armor, 5 reliability, and 1 into the main gun. This will be the P45-1, 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 P45-1. Not only are they stronger, but they're easier to produce, which is awesome. And so that'll be the goal. Once we actually produce these units, we're going to slowly phase them on in. Unfortunately, we do need some experience to make that happen. Miami needs to fall, so then I get even more supplies. It's, you know, obviously we're struggling quite a bit. 50 units are moving into Miami. And I'm so happy that we've taken Tampa. Unfortunately, it looks like the naval base in Florida is obviously taking its time. Ace Pilot has been promoted. We really need Tampa to really improve our supply. Let's actually push in everybody, because this is one of our biggest goals, at least for now. 38 tanks are coming in. We're building better logistics companies. Is everybody retreating? Oh my goodness, this could be devastating. This could literally be devastating. I think we're about to lose Tampa. We've lost Tampa. I don't know if we're going to lose all of these units at once, and we very well could, all because we lost Tampa. Oh my goodness. This is about to be the biggest disaster we've ever had. Oh man. They have a lot of troops. We are literally about to lose so many tanks, and we can't escape because there aren't any. Oh man. Let's destroy this. The number one goal is to take Miami, and that's what we're going to try to do. Everybody's been overrun. Ah, the biggest disaster in the history of military disasters. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was 72 tanks. Oh man. Alright, let's build again. 72. That was so expensive. 1, 2, 3... How long is this going to take? 22,000 motorized. How many heavy tanks are we going to need? 1,500 days. Actually, we're not even producing heavy tanks. So therefore, let's switch this over to modern tanks. Remove all of these. Remove, because we're out of motorized. And I need 35 army experience. And that's what we're going to do. We're out of manpower again. How did that happen? Like, all we did was we lost Tampa. Ah, man. Alright, well, here is all adults serve. Factory output going down. Everything is going to take a lot longer to produce. Okay. Well, it is what it is, I guess. I'm very surprised that we, you know, lost Tampa. I thought it was going to work out very well, but the U.S. has a lot of troops, and we didn't have the supplies we needed. Well, that's devastating. Okay, looking around, we have a lot of battles, and surprisingly enough, we're sinking a lot of convoys, so nothing that really is all too upsetting. A lot of naval battles as well. I can't believe we lost that many troops and that many tanks. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We have our colonial divisions here inside Africa. And really, all we gotta do now is just wait to build up our presence again. Hopefully, by this time, we'll have even more modern tanks. It says we're still producing some, which doesn't make sense. Some heavies. Yes, we are. This needs to be the P45 1 series. 1. Everything is a modern tank, which is good news. And we are producing 10 of them a day, and we probably need roughly 2.8 thousand, so 280 days. And I need some experience to finally switch those over. So this is already going to be our modern tank. Let's go ahead and remove a light tank, remove 3 units of motorized, and save. And how many do we lack? We have a surplus of heavies. We definitely lack a lot of light tanks, and we lack a lot of modern tanks. 312 days. Yikes. So let's go ahead and build as many as we can. We probably even need to start working on our military factories again, even if that means producing even more military tanks, some modern tanks. You know, then we won't have to wait as long. Man, I can't believe we lost all of those tanks that quickly. We had 72 units there. Well, I guess you live and you learn, right? All of these probably could move down. These could move down as well. We'll deal with a lot of these civilian factories first, and then we'll start building up more and more, you know, modern tanks. I mean, don't get me wrong, the production efficiency is going to grow, so we're going to get about 4 or 5 a day. And I'm wondering, jet engines have been unlocked, and therefore we can now start actually getting some real jet fighters. Gonna have to build a lot more range, reliability, but we do have a lot of experience. What's amazing is their agility. Man, epic fail. Alright, maybe we'll go after another area. Man, we're probably going to go after Tampa again. But I can't believe that didn't work. I'm wondering where exactly this port is, if it's here. I guess I could find out. Yep, here. Inside the St. Augustine area. Technically, Jacksonville, they're missing the St. Johns River. Which is a huge, huge economic benefit of Florida. Okay, signal companies. Let's get better fighters. Improved infantry equipment. I don't know if we need that. The half-track would be great, as we finally have troops, but we don't have the technology we need. Let's actually start getting it. I get that it's a 1940 version, but, you know, we're 5 years behind schedule with the half-track. Well, at least while we're waiting, we are working on better and better tactics. So therefore, once we get the elastic defense, all of our tanks are going to have more speed, more organization, and better reinforcement rate. I could take St. Helena, though I don't think it's necessary. Logistics companies have been unlocked. We could work for the fourth and final maintenance company. Another 5% reliability would be useful. And we're building 72 units, and what are we lacking? We're lacking 9,100 motorized and a lot of light tanks. I could go ahead and do something like this and remove another motorized, but now they're really going to be weak. I just need so much more production, and I just don't have it. But we are building more and more civilian factories, and I'm assuming we're going to get more and more, I'm guessing, either tanks or potentially mechanized, which we are researching. Engineering companies are about to be unlocked, and all we had to do was take Miami and keep Tampa, and we would have been fine. We probably could have just stayed on Tampa the entire time, but I guess we tried to be greedy. I didn't think we would really lose. Civilian factories are being constructed. This will be done on the 9th, and therefore everything will start producing faster and faster military factories. Okay, still working on these modern tanks. I'm very happy that they have a lot more armor and reliability and damage now. And we're producing them fairly quickly. 155 days. I don't know if I'm going to wait that long. One thing I think I'm going to do is we have the ability to have up to 100% on all of... these are 92%. So I don't like how you can have up to 42% max experience. I want it to go to 100. And a lot of these... Wow, the farther you go down, the worse off we are. Engineering company has been unlocked. I don't need military police. I don't need field hospitals. Signal companies might be useful. I guess we'll get that. So the better initiative means more organization. And I just need these half-tracks sometime today. 111 days is going to be a while. And one thing I could do is I could start bombing from the Bahamas. A lot of Florida's, industry. I could start hitting Georgia and Alabama and, like, South Carolina. Atlanta has a lot of industry. I'm sure that Washington does, and Virginia. We have, all we could really do is wait. Nothing much that you could really do right now. Scrolling on down, are these actually any better than before? Still about 55%, and what we're waiting on is a lot of motorized. We don't even need those light tanks anymore. What we could do is remove these, but I don't have the experience. Now we have nothing. Alright, well, what can we do? We are still going to be building a lot more military factories, start gearing up production as quickly as we can. Now that we own Bessarabia, maybe we could obviously start building up that. At least our navy is fairly formidable. Let's go ahead and put on an admiral, and therefore we are going to send you over to make Bermuda your new home, search and destroy. The Mid-Atlantic region, the Labrador Sea, and I'm guessing we could also do Newfoundland. And we're taking down a lot of enemy troops, and I would say we're doing well. And another thing that I think we're going to do is, I don't know if we really need any more carriers after these, so I'm going to do one. We're going to have an infinite amount of light cruisers. So I think we're going to switch these over, because they do take a lot of resources that I probably will need in time. Let's start building some convoys, because we're going to need those. Let's start building some light cruisers again. And I'll probably do something like that. All of you can go to Latium. And then, once we are done producing all of our carriers... I mean, we've got a lot of carrier naval bombers. I don't know if we need these. That's my thing. What if I went down to 1, and then these guys went down to 2? Because I have a lot of carrier fighters as well. I want jet fighters, and we're obviously researching jet engines. Oh, excuse me, we already have jet engines. We're about to get the fighters themselves. All of those will be switched around and be remaneuvered. I'm guessing all of these will eventually become actual jet bombers. We are going to lack tungsten, though, and we don't have much of that. You know, we should have gotten strategic bombers. You know, then they could bomb everything instead of actual tactical bombers. It wouldn't be that bad of an idea. The range isn't there, the attack isn't that great. But we could really bomb a lot of things. But I think what we want is the close air support. Okay, game is ticking on by, still waiting on a lot of experience. Such an action will upset the balance of Europe. Taking a quick glance at the recruit and deployment, let's remove one of these tanks. And now we are lacking about 58 light tanks. The atomic bomb, ooh, very, very devastating. Ostlandet, I don't know where that is. I think it's over here, somewhere in Germany. I don't see any type of explosion. And usually there's a search button. Ostlandet. Ah, all the way up here. So we have used... The German Reich has used an atomic bomb on Oslo. And it looks like Norway is about to be destroyed. I can't believe we lost 72 units of heavy tanks. That was like a year and a half of building. Oh my goodness. Alright, well at least our modern tanks are coming along nicely. It should be done in about 50 days. And we probably need a lot more modern tanks than what we have. But we can obviously make it work. Let's also get another naval base. Here inside Puerto Rico. Here inside Jamaica. I'm going to push both of these to the top because I think we're going to do some... we're going to put 24, 24, and 24. And then send them all in. Still building up our modern tanks. Unread naval battles. Send volunteers. And there's nothing much we can do without motorized. I want to just start the battle, but I don't think we can. 7 days until our maintenance companies. Still want to obviously, start building some jet tactical bombers. We only have... tungsten, so we don't have that many that we could produce. Maintenance company is about to be unlocked in 1 day. There it is. Can we begin the construction of our jet tactical bomber? Yes, we can. 164 days. We have some free military factories. Let's start pumping out some motorized, and those will be switched over to mechanized in time. Supposedly, maybe sort of, kind of. Seems like the most viable option. And I guess I'm getting a little impatient. So one thing that I'm going to do is all of these are going to get stronger in time. Don't get me wrong. But we have 72 units. All with motorized that we're lacking. Light tanks we certainly have enough of. I would like more modern tanks. I guess the question is, are we going to be successful? The best option is to wait, beef these up with maybe another version of modern tanks. I don't know. The U.S. has a lot of production. They certainly flooded Florida very easily. Every day that I wait, though, we get more and more modern tanks. We get more and more motorized divisions. Looks like we finally have the jet fighter. And I guess we could start pumping up the land night attack. Seems like a viable pick. And looking for all of our regular fighters, which are here. Let's make the Jet Fighter 1 and the Jet Fighter 1. We're now out of tungsten. This can be improved to have a lot more weapons and then a lot more reliability. So now it loses some engine speed, which is fine, but it has a lot more damage. Plus 18. Weapons and reliability. Let's save that and start pumping those out. We might have to start trading for some tungsten with Portugal. Ah, most of it has been traded away. Not good. Okay, we are lacking about 70 modern tanks, so we're about to finally get into a surplus within the next 3 days. Some of our tactics are finishing up, and therefore moving on into an armored spearhead formation with more breakthrough and more tank organization. Looking at the potential to deploy units, don't think we're going to do it just yet, but in 4 days we're about to have the mechanized units, and then we are eventually going to have the better signal companies. So here are the mechanized. Let's go ahead and start working on the next version of the mechanized, looking at production, scrolling all the way down, switching motorized to mechanized, and only making 1.26 a week. So they are going to protect our troops. Not sure if they're really all that worth it. I think they are, because they obviously have better speed, and better armor, and better damage. Still wondering if we even need these carrier fighters at all. We have a massive surplus of infantry equipment. Surprisingly enough, I think what I'm going to do is remove these carrier fighters, because we have too many. Remove these carrier naval bombers. And I think I'm going to keep these for now, but I probably don't need as many. And let's start working on support equipment, because we're probably going to burn through a lot of those. And we're lacking 20 tungsten. I could certainly trade for more. Looking at getting better signal companies again with another 12% initiative. And it looks like everybody is finally prepped and ready to go, except some of these units. One of my biggest priorities is to add another modern tank unit. I don't think we're going to have enough at all, as we are about to, once we deploy all of these, I obviously want to add another modern tank unit. Let's go ahead and finally deploy them now. Only going to be producing one. God help us with this, invasion. It should finally work this time around. You're going to go to the Italian Theater 3. I guess you could stay here. 36 will move over. Let's split these again into 18. And these will go into 18 as well. Okay. These 18 are going to go here into Jamaica. These 18 are going to go to Puerto Rico. If I don't click the radar dish. And these 18 will go to the Bahamas. Why is this so complicated? Alright, garrison. And then these 18 will probably go to Bermuda. And the very first 18 are probably going to be given a very powerful leader, this field marshal. And you're also going to be doing a plan from Jamaica, once again, to, I'm guessing, we should probably go with a naval invasion here. And that'll be the plan. It's going to take 63 days, so let's go ahead and end this episode. Thank you all so much for joining me, and we are going to re-attempt our invasion of the US. Thanks again, guys.